Hello all, welcome back to another interesting episode on the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav story series by Momish Amazings. Today I'm going to take you to the fort, which is surrounded with a lot of mysteries and legends. Want to join me in my journey? Come on, my dear friends. I'm going to take you to Himachal Pradesh. The moment I say Himachal Pradesh, you must be all thinking it's the Queen of Hills, Shimla, Dharmasthala, and a lot of other places. But have you ever come across Kangra Fort? If the walls of Kangra Fort has voice, then they'll start telling us stories right from the last 6,000 years of Indian history. Amazing, isn't it? The first known ruler of Kangra Fort is known to be Bhumi Chandra. He is the recorded first ruler from Kutch dynasty who who built Kangra Fort. If you check it out in the Google or in the archaeological department history records as to who is the father of Bhumi Chandra and stuff like that, you will not find any answer. Then how did Bhumi Chandra all of a sudden surface on the face of the earth without any parents? For that, there is an interesting legend that surrounds the origin of Bhumichandra. We all heard about Rakta Bija and the fight of Ambika with Rakta Bija, goddess Ambika with Rakta Bija, isn't it? During the Maharatri celebrations time, the goddess Durga had gone and fought with so many demons of Mahishasura and killed all of them. And Rakta Bija is one person whose drop of blood can produce another Rakta Bija when goddess Ambika is fighting with Rakta Bija, at that time a drop of her sweat had fallen down on the earth, which took a human form, and that form's name is called Bhumi Chandra, it seems. And that is how Bhumi Chandra was born, and he had helped the goddess Ambika in destroying Rakta Bija. That this is a legend which flows around in the Kangra Valley of Himachal Pradesh. And apparently, the Kangra Museum, which is stationed very close to Kangra Fort, has the entire chronology of kings who had ruled the Kangra Fort right from Bhumi Chandra's time. Today, we have almost 480, 490 kings who have ruled Kangra Fort throughout the last 6,000 years. Interestingly, the people, this Kangra fort is connected with both Ramayana and Mahabharata also. Nanmel Chandra is another king belonging to the Kutch dynasty who had actually fought with Lakshmana during the Ashwamedha Yaga of Ramayana. We remember that Rama had conducted Ashwamedha Yaga, and that is the time when in the war he met Lava and Kusha, his both sons, right? Before that incident happened, actually, Nannamel Chandra is the one who has fought with Lakshmana and during that time issues. And then Shusharama Chandra, Shusharma Chandra too is the one who has fought with in Mahabharata in Kurukshetra along with Arjuna and other people. We all remember the Padma Yuha in which Abhimanyu was got caught and he got killed by Kauravas, right? Do you know who is the king who killed Abhimanyu? In the Bhagavad Gita or also in the Mahabharata, it was just mentioned as a passing name, and that is none other than Shusharma. And he was actually gifted by, after the Mahabharata war is over, he ran off from Kurukshetra and went and settled in in the Kangra Valley in Kangra Fort, as that is the original place of existence, it seems. We don't know. These are, see, basically, these are all the legends and stories that keep floating in the Kangra Valley even today. And the only, and again, once again, all these things are the oral stories that are getting passed on from one generation to other generation. And then the only evidence that we can see about these kings is that one is the genealogy of the Katoch dynasty being preserved in the Kangra Museum. The other is the archaeological evidences that came out after the excavation of Kangra Fort, which dates the stones used in the Kangra Fort back to Mahabharata time. So that means maybe it is true. Whatever they had written it there is true. We don't know actually. Then the next famous ruler of Katoch dynasty, he is none other than Sansar Chandra, who has got the golden age of Kangra, it seems. But before we go to Sansar Chandra, we need to talk about Shusharma Chandra as well. After Shusharma Chandra took over Kangra Fort post Mahabharata war, it so happened that he has built the Ambika temple within the fort, and in apparently this fort has 4 temples, which Nataraja temple, Ambika temple, Jainism temple, temple for Jains, and everybody. Okay, and this Ambika temple, this Ambika temple is been built by some king who has actually established the entire Kangra Fort. And goddess Ambika is the Kuladaivam, or the family goddess of Katosh dynasty. And when these people, not only Katosh dynasty, all the Hindu kings across the entire great Indian subcontinent used to offer their gold and coins as as a form of offerings after their wishes are getting fulfilled to the goddess Ambika. And imagine the amount of wealth that the Kangra fort rulers have accumulated as a form of offerings, which was sent by across all the kings from entire Indian subcontinent. It was so huge, it seems, that the Kangra fort rulers have built 21 wells, which are around 8 feet, 4 to 8 feet deep, with huge circumference, and they have put all the wealth in all these wells. 21 wells have been built, and all these wells are filled with the offerings, and the offerings are in the form of gold, diamonds, rubies, pearls, coins, whatnot, jewels, everything, whatever you name it, it is there. And no wonder when the name and fame of Kangra Fort started spreading across, people from far and wide started attacking Kangra Fort, including Muhammad Ghazni, Alexander, Akbar. You won't even believe Alexander fought so badly at the Kangra Fort, and he lost totally, that he had to return back. And this is the war which he fought lastly in Indian subcontinent, and had to return back saying that he didn't have sufficient strength to come down from Kangra Fort to attack the further down, southward Indian regions. And that is the reason why Alexander had started his return journey to Greece at that point of time. And Muhammad Ghazni had failed. Then Akbar had failed 52 times, my dear friends. Isn't it? I mean, unimaginable. I mean, isn't it amazing, or should I say, unimaginable for us? Because we know the size of army of Akbar. We know the power of Akbar. How come Akbar could get defeated 52 times while trying to attack this fort? That shows the strength and the strength of this Kangra fort, the way it was built on top of the mountain with 3 rivers surrounding it, Settlers, Ravi, and Bias providing the natural protection. And it seems, in fact, there is a rumor in Katosh dynasty saying, like, whenever you enter Kangra fort, you need to enter with head down and leg first. Do you know why is that so? Because if at all the soldier standing on top of the Kangra fort uh, think that you are an enemy by any chance, they will immediately shoot an arrow and your head will be chopped off. And that is the reason why people like Alexander, Akbar, and everybody got defeated. In fact, the rumor also says that even if all the supplies to Kangra Fort has been cut off completely for 18 months, the people in Kangra Fort can survive on their own without even a single person entering or going out of Kangra Fort. I mean, think about all the provisions, the groceries, water, everything is available in Kangra Fort. Amazing, isn't it? Then finally, after Akbar, Jahangir is the one who could capture Kangra Fort by surrounding it for more than 20 months, and then with lot of patience and war tactics. And because he could get some traitors inside the Kangra Fort who had helped him, he could actually conquer Kangra Fort. And when Jahangir conquered Kangra Fort, he took away the wealth from 8 wells, it seems. And then all that wealth has been transferred back to Delhi Sultanate in using elephants, camels, and horseback. Despite all that, he couldn't still find out the remaining wells, where they were hidden and what happened. Then Sansar Chand came in, and he had taken over from Mughal empires when Mughal empire is on decline. And after taking over from Mughal Empire, he started conquering all the small kingdoms in and around the Kangra Fort, and he became the royal monarch of the entire Himachal Pradesh area, the greater Himachal Pradesh area. And not only that, because of all these wars and everything, he has amassed so much of wealth, not touching the wealth of wealth that is still lying in the Kangra Fort at that point of time. he had established 36 karkhanas to work on different nuances of paintings and miniature paintings, which can be done only using the naturally available materials. All the colors for these paintings were obtained from the naturally available materials only, it seems. And not only that, he was a very people pro person who had worked out on giving employment to all the people in Himachal Pradesh, train them on the different art forms, train them on the different craft forms, then talked about the culture. He made the history of Kangra Fort, and he was actually winning the people's minds. But the people, other Rajputana kings who are surrounding Kangra Fort, whom Sansar Chand has actually conquered, still couldn't digest the fact that these guys have to report to a younger king, because Sansar Chand is supposed to have conquered. Sat on the throne of Kangra by age of around 21 years itself. So they couldn't digest that young chap is ruling them, and they need to pay taxes and reverence to this young chap. So all these people were kind of trying out for different ways to wiggle out of Kangra food for empire rule. Then came, but as usual, being a young man, his young blood couldn't let him sit quietly in Kangra fort, enjoying the wealth and enjoying the love of the people. His thirst for expansion of Kangra fort led him to wage wars with Lahore, with Nepal, and every place. And in fact, he lost his war with Nepal, with the Gorkha regiment that is in the base of Nepal, and at that time that clan is being led by Amar Singh Thapa. And when he lost so badly in the hands of Amar Singh Thapa, he had to leave Kangra Fort and take flee down towards south of Himachal Pradesh, and he went to Ranjit Singh to take help. And Ranjit Singh helped him in conquering Kangra Fort. But at that time, Ranjit Singh also heard so much about Kangra Fort's wealth and the beauty of it that he didn't want to let go of Kangra Fort. So obviously, Ranjit Singh, the Shere Punjab of Punjab region, kept Kangra Fort in his control. And Sansar Chand had to go and settle down in Tirsajanapur, which is another fort which has been built by him. In fact, he has a very good architectural knowledge as well. He's built a lot of different forts across the Himachal Pradesh, which are equally beautiful and equally good. So Sansar Chand had to go to some other fort and stay there for next 20 years. So Sansar Chand, though he's got Kangra for Katoch Empire to its zenith and gave the gold, and he's the one who provided the golden era for Kangra Fort. He could only sit there for 20 years. After Ranjit Singh, the Britishers had annexed this Kangra Fort, and they looted down the other 13 wells from the Kangra Fort. So now we only have 18 eight more wells which are left to be discovered, which are full of wealth and treasure. We don't know when that will be discovered, or whether it's still there or somebody has already looted it. But that's all the story for today, my dear friends. So there are so many forts, so many dynasties in India who has done equally good work and equally, taking care of their people in one way or other. But the problem with these kind of kings is that they had declined or got defeated because of their thirst for power. Once the thirst for power oversees any person, that is a sure short path for your ruining, isn't it? Anyways, that's all for today's story. Let us meet tomorrow with another interesting story. Till then, take care. Bye bye, friends.